in your chamber, or are you in the office, or are you in the hallway? Or where's Bill Werkheiser as they're out in Atlanta?
In the office. So session generally doesn't start till 10, but there's plenty to do between 7 and 10, and then we have meetings following. In fact, like tomorrow morning, I've got an 8 o'clock committee hearing. It's been very busy. Some may know I'm chairman of Industry and Labor, and we picked up right where we left off. We had a really full schedule, and usually meet once a week. That we met yesterday for an hour and a half, and then we're going to turn around and meet again for another an hour and a half today. Try to get some stuff out. Got some really big issues going on, and some have to do with the CARES Act, the federal, lining up the Georgia Code with the federal so that we can continue to get federal funds. So it has been extremely, extremely busy.
Well, of course, the big issue is the budget. Again, 9 days left, has to be approved as it kicks in on July 1st. They're talking about 11% cut, totals $2.6 billion. So what have you heard about the budget, and what are the discussions that you can relate to us?
Well, at this point, I've been watching the Senate appropriations. Very unusual because usually the budget's, the process after the governor gives his recommendations, the House spends a lot of weeks on the budget, and then we give it to the Senate and they massage it. Well, because of this pandemic, the reverse has happened. We passed the budget, but that budget is out the window with the $2.6 billion that you mentioned. So now we're kind of waiting on the Senate that I've been following. I listened to Senator Tillery yesterday, and I like the thinking on looking at the tax credits as opposed to taking away services, because that's been a game that's been played way too long, where somebody's got an industry in their district and they drop a bill, or they've got somebody coming to their area and they want to give a tax credit for, let's say, radio stations. And so we really need to look at those instead of and just make it an even playing field. And yeah, we need to incentivize to get employment, big business to come to Georgia and small business. But we really need to look at a lot of those tax credits.
A big story today will be the Lieutenant Governor, Jeff Duncan. He's supposed to unveil his proposal for hate crime legislation. I'm sure you'll be tuned into that. Where do you see that going? It looks like it's gained a lot of momentum in the last several weeks.
It really has. And, it's funny. It only passed the House by a couple of votes, and then it sat in the Senate. They did not seem very interested in it. And then all of a sudden, with all this stuff that's happened during the pandemic, picking up steam is putting it lightly. So I've talked to a lot of House members. So because the Senate is going to make changes, that means the House will vote on it again. And, I don't think the vote will be as close. It will pass overwhelmingly in the House. So just waiting for it to come back from the Senate and see what kind of changes they make to it.
Another item that's being discussed to understand, again, they're still counting votes up there in the Atlanta area from Tuesday's election, and Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger wants new powers to intervene when county election officials are not performing. He wants counties to have to pay for that extra help. He's getting a lot of heat from people like Stacey Abrams and all that, but like I said, he says the problem was, and you mentioned this when we had last Tuesday, it wasn't the machines, and it wasn't it was just the fact that the people that were supposed to be putting the machines up didn't know what they were doing. So where do you see all this playing out, and what's been the talk out there in the Atlanta area?
I'm glad, the Speaker ordered investigation, and I think it's, both sides are pointing fingers. That's what we do. But I think the more we learn, the more the truth will come out, and it really does come down to leadership, because I was part of that, forming that legislation, and we have a machine, I think it's per 250 people. So you can't say, just because Fulton County has more people, their lines are longer. They had the machines per population, and their turnout was not any greater percentage-wise than it was down here, say, in Wayne County. And so I think we heard and saw stories where they were opening boxes the day of, trying to hire people. Their workers had never seen the machines before, and you compare that with what Tammy Thornton did. She even had public meetings where people could come see the machines, come test them out. She trained her workers. So I think we're about to find out where the fault really lies, and it's going to be in the local elections, folks, because I know within a 200 square mile around here, everything ran smooth. And like I said, everybody got a machine per population. So,
again, if you're just joining us, this is Wednesdays with Werkheiser. State Representative Bill Werkheiser on the phone from Atlanta. Another item I keep reading about is business groups are asking state lawmakers to shield companies from legal liability if workers contract COVID-19. So I understand that issue is being discussed. What are they looking for? Are they looking for some legislation to protect them, or what exactly are they asking for?
Well, as you know, we've become a society. I jokingly say the American dream is to find somebody you can sue and retire. The folks that, and it's a balancing act like everything else, because if someone's grossly negligent, you don't want to prevent someone from being able to redress and their, pain and suffering, but to help these companies who were trying to do the right thing during this pandemic, and Bob, be honest with you, I hadn't even heard even anecdotal stories of what types of lawsuits they're affecting, but apparently, whether it's a hospital or a clinic that was given tests, I don't know. I don't know why you would sue them, but if something went wrong, so they're, the problem is, our senators has that occupation too. Is you're going to have to find that balancing act between businesses who want protection and the lawyers who, are more bent toward, well, if someone gets hurt, we need to address that. So, I will say this, and I saw it in my committee yesterday. The committee process works. I had a bill, Department of Labor, and I looked around, and we had a restaurant owner, one of the actually big restaurant, small restaurants in Georgia. He's got like 70 employees, and then we had a guy who is a HR manager over a Fortune 500 company, and everything in between, and my printing business would fit in between those two. Or fit in between as far as pay rate or stuff. So during that process, and the reason we're meeting again today was we found some things in the bill that were not equitable towards small business and big business. So we hammered that out, and I appointed a small committee made up of several different business owners, and we got that fixed last night, and we'll come back. So the committee process works because, Stephen Meeks is on agriculture because he knows that. I'm on industry and labor because that's what I've always done. Senator Tillery is on judiciary because he's an attorney. So the good news is in Georgia, I think it works. The process is slow, it's thorough, but I believe we generally find the best balancing act.
Again, they're talking about having to cut budget, so they're looking at ways to make money. One proposal I hear is they're going to possibly look at raising the tax on tobacco, something they haven't done in quite some time. Do you see that passing the legislature? Do you think they'll do that?
Bob, I don't know why that's been a sacred cow. In Georgia, I think we're literally the lowest in the country. Just by getting us up to average, it would bring in, $200 to $300 million. I've heard the cigarette tax is so high, like in New York. There are folks who load up these small trucks and large vans, buying cigarettes in Georgia and taking them to New York and reselling them. That's how low our cigarette tax is. But every time you bring it up, there seems to be a a roadblock. And I know tobacco farming is a big deal in Georgia, so there's that. So I don't know. It gets literally brought up, every year during the budget process. But so far it's been hands off. But
I was just amazed at how long it's been since it's been raised. I mean, it just seems like everybody has to raise after a while. But I think I can't remember the day, but it's been almost 10, 12 years before they've even increased the tax on tobacco in the state of Georgia, which I thought was amazing.
Well, I remember a couple of years ago when we were trying to find some extra money, and they said, nothing's off the table. And someone brought up, well, what about the tobacco tax? Well, we're not going to talk about that.
Right.
Well, maybe everything's not off the table.
Can they tax lottery tickets? That seems to be a big item in the state of Georgia. Could they possibly make money doing that? Has that been discussed at all?
I don't know. I have to find that out.
I mean, that seems like that would be a way to raise revenue as well, because there's a bunch of people every day. You see people buying those tickets.
Yeah, I don't know the mechanisms of that, and personally, I've never been not for a moral high ground or anything. It's just my favorite saying is the lottery is a tax on those who are bad at math. I've never bought a ticket.
Right. I just wondered, if that was discussed, because I know they got to be looking for ways to, they're talking about cut. So they, like I said, they got to look for ways to at least make some type of money back. And like I said, that's why the tobacco issue's been raised. Other items have been raised as well. I was just curious. But again, it seems like it's going to be a real busy session. You're down to 9 days. Is there any talk about extending the session, or is they just going to go to the 9 days and be done?
No, the opposite maybe. There's been talk when we get the budget to cut it short. For one thing, it is for those who want to watch online. Everything we do, you can stream, and it's been surreal watching. So the House is 3 times bigger than the Senate, so we're divided up. About half of us are in the chamber. I was fortunate enough to keep my seat, but about 99% were not. There's a group in the gallery above us, and then there's a group in the old Supreme Court chamber building upstairs. And so every vote that we take is by roll call, and it is excruciating. They go alphabetically by those of us who are in the chamber, and then alphabetically those who are above us, and then alphabetically those in the other room. It takes up to 20 minutes for every single vote. So I can't imagine doing that on sine die. I think it's wearing out. They've told us, the chairman, to do not be sending us bills to be put on the calendar. On average, just the first couple of days back, I think we had 4 measures yesterday and 4 the day before. And a little bit different. Usually they set the calendar at 9 o'clock in the morning for the following day. Now they're setting it at 9 o'clock for what's going to be on the calendar at 10. So we're not getting much notice. So we won't know until 9 o'clock what's going to be on the calendar for the day.
Right. With the COVID-19, I'm curious, are people wearing masks, or, how about the protesters? Have you had to deal with any of those, or how's that going?
So the first day, we were told to get to the Capitol by 8:30. This protest was going to start at 10, since we started at 10, and then they were done by 12, and we were still in the chamber. So they started at 10, left at 12. We could hear them, but we never, we weren't going or coming from our car or anything. So we could hear them. It was a big crowd. It was peaceful. But are people wearing masks? Absolutely. It's and Bob and Jonathan, I have been at my house most of the time doing projects during this. It's one of the few times I've had a mask on, and wearing one for 4 and 6 hours at a time has been tough. But it is mandatory. Everybody, if you're in that Capitol, you have a mask on. And they've been very, very strict about that.
I'm curious, they had the shooting in Atlanta at that Wendy's restaurant. They shut down the highway. That's been a big item in the news. I'm just curious, is there any talk about the mayor's actions? I mean, she just went in and fired that police officer without a hearing or anything like that. They're saying his rights were pretty much violated. Do you hear anything about her actions, and is she catching any heat at all for that?
Well, she is, and that case is a little bit different. I won't weigh in because I'm just one more opinion, but that case was a little bit different than some of these others where, that guy was being, he was actually firing a weapon that was legally declared a deadly weapon at an officer at the time he was shot. Now, the narrative, he was shot in the back, but he was running kind of sideways. Yeah, that is different. But I guess she's trying to take a hard stand on, what the protesters are protesting. So, yeah, I thought that, I guess what you're implying is my first thought is at least have a hearing, have an investigation, but...
Well, I'm just saying she can't have it both ways. I mean, she's out there saying that the police officers are using tasers and that's a deadly weapon when they're using it against protesters, but then she's turning around saying it's not a deadly weapon when the man's running away and points it to a police officer. So she can't have it both ways, but I just think she overstepped by firing him without a hearing, without a, whatever. I think his lawyers are going to be suing somebody, but I don't understand why she's not catching more heat for that. That's just my personal opinion, but I think she just overstepped.
She's catching heat, but the other side is, in just 2 weeks, Stacey Abrams is out of the picture for vice president, and she's in the picture. She's now one of the top 6 or 8, depending on what polls you're looking at, for vice presidential nomination to John Biden. So
I don't think that's happening. I'll bet against that. Either. That ain't happening. So anyway.
It's certainly getting a lot of
2 cents on that. But if I was betting in Vegas, I'm betting against Stacey Abrams being the pick. But anyway, but we appreciate you being with us here every Wednesday. It's always good to talk to you. Again, it is a busy session. So you think there's a possibility they could shorten the session, have the budget passed quicker, and then get out of there? Is what you're telling me? Is that what you're?
I'm saying that's a greater possibility than
extending it. I got you.
Yeah.
But
I heard yesterday, and this talk, that the target date is the 26th for us to be out. If that is true, we're either going to shorten the session by 1 day if we meet Monday through Friday, or we will meet Saturday, one of the Saturdays, Monday through Saturday, and then Monday through Friday and be done, if that's true. But that's the first date I've heard so far.
I gotcha. Well, like I said, it'll be an interesting day today, and it'll be interesting to see if they get that hate crimes bill passed and see if they get the budget passed as well. But anything else I'm missing? Like I said, I talked about the possible increase in the tobacco tax, the protection for COVID-19 lawsuits. What else is being discussed that we may be missing? Is there anything I'm missing?
Those are the big ones. Again, every committee has got their own things. Like I said, I've been so deep in industry and labor stuff. And I've said this before, a lot of the bills that we pass, just like this industry and labor, I wouldn't bore your listeners by talking about it because it's just legal stuff in the weeds, but it helps our state. So that's why we end up talking about such few bills, because probably 90% of the bills we talk about are code revisions that are either necessary to line up with federal code or just things that we need to fix, but they're not a lot of fun to talk about.
I understand. But again, you stay safe. If you see Blake and Steven, tell them we appreciate them calling in as well. Again, it's an interesting session. Like I said, we talked to Blake yesterday. We mentioned this. You just mentioned a while ago. If people want to watch this live, there's a live stream that they can watch it live. Is that correct? Yeah,
and you can watch either the House or the Senate. And the link is kind of long, but it's really easy to find. If you'll just Google Georgia House of Representatives or Georgia Senate, both will take you to a landing page. And I think even now they both have the most prominent link at the top is Watch Session Live. And not only can you watch it live, there's an archive that if you miss it, like if you're at work and you want to watch it that evening, you can watch every single day, and you can watch every committee and subcommittee. So Georgia's one of the most transparent states as far as doing business. So
as I mentioned to Blake yesterday, people are looking for something to watch instead of national news, so they may be tuning in daily to watch it. So, again, we appreciate you tuning in or being with us every Wednesday, Bill. Like I said, when the session gets over, we want to invite you in the studio and have a good conversation with you about the session. But, again, as we mentioned, just stay safe. So you get to go to the big hall at all, or do you have to stay in your office?
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to being back. Thank you all.
Okay, Bill, thanks so much. Again, that's Wednesdays with Werkheiser. Bill Werkheiser on the phone with us live from Atlanta at the legislative session. Again, we got Colt Ford expected to call in at the bottom of the hour. 8:30 is what time he's supposed to call in. Again, he's going to be at the Jessup Drive-In with a live concert. And in case you missed it, they've changed the admission price. It's no longer by car. It's by individual, which is $10 charge per person. We did check on the cooler situation with the people from the Georgia Grown who's putting these on. They state the coolers are allowed, so if you want to take in adult beverages, apparently you're allowed to do that. So we did get that clarification yesterday. So again, it's both Friday and Saturday night, 8:15. Colt Ford. The question was asked: is there anybody else but Colt Ford performing? We understand there is. Maybe he knows who the lead performer is.
Right, so opening act, yes.
We'll talk with him about that. But in Colt Ford, I said he's been here before. He's performed in Jessup before. Born and raised in Athens, Georgia, was a former professional golfer. Again, he played on the nationwide tour, but later turned his interest in music, taking influence from country music and hip-hop, and again has the stage name Colt Ford. His real name is Jason Ferris Brown, born August 27, 1969. So looking forward to talking to him this morning about coming to Jessup to perform these concerts here at the Jessup Drive-In. Should be fun.
All right, why don't we take a break? The phone was ringing there. I hope that they've got the right number as opposed to our main studio line.
I gave them the right number. So.
Okay. All right, let's take a break here. Good morning from the Big Dog WIFO at 824.
Since 1946, Murphy's Builder Supply has been serving the folks of Jessup, Wayne, and surrounding counties with quality products and knowledgeable service. Matter of fact, they feel they sell service first to make sure you get exactly what you need for your home improvement projects. And with each employee at Murphy's being there for 10 years or more, you know you're talking with someone with the experience to help you with building supplies, tools, paint, and all the things you need from a full-service hardware store. The best choice in home improvement is Murphy's Builder Supply, 156 Northeast Broad Street, Jessup.
Damon's Famous Fingers and Wings restaurant in Jessup is now open for business, practicing social distancing, but still serving that great food that Damon's is famous for. Come inside or come through the drive-thru, but Damon's is open inside and welcomes back its customers. The menu's the same, the service is fast, and the food is fantastic, and the sauces remain the same, mild, wild, insane, or inferno. The number is the same, 588-WING, 588-9464. Damon's Restaurant on West Cherry Street in Jessup. Dining room now open for business. Come on in and enjoy a great meal today.
A bank that puts people first. First Southern Bank, investing in you since 1907. Serving Jessup, Patterson, and Waycross. A true community bank led by experienced neighborhood bankers that live and work in our community. Offering competitive loan options for commercial and consumer clients. Stop by the Jessup branch and meet branch manager Mandy Yeomans and her fantastic team. Call 912-810-1540. Let First Southern Bank be your bank of choice. First Southern Bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. Colt Ford coming to Jessup, performing live both Friday and Saturday night, 8:15 at the Jessup Drive-In. A change has been made in admission price, now simply $10 per person. Showtime 8:15. The show is part of the Georgia Grown concert series with Double A Productions. Colt Ford, this Friday and Saturday night at the Jessup Drive-In, 8:15. Coolers are permitted. Tickets available online at gagrownconcertseries.com. Colt Ford, this Friday and Saturday night at the Jessup Drive-In.
Kind of like chicken and biscuits.
I'm Frank Arity, GNN Sports. The NBA has told players they have until June 24th to let their teams know if they'll be heading to Orlando next month. Each player has gotten a manual of over 100 pages that details everything they'll need to know, including testing protocols and the specifics of what happens if a player does test positive, which includes a 2-week period where they will be out of action. There are reportedly between 6 and 8 baseball owners that would prefer to just scrap the season if that number is in fact 8. That would be significant since Commissioner Rob Manfred needs 75% owner approval to impose a schedule. One-time Georgia standout champ Bailey among the 200 coaches and players on the 2021 College Football Hall of Fame ballot. And Dale Earnhardt Jr., the 2-time Daytona 500 winner, will join his late father as members of the NASCAR Hall of Fame after being selected as one of the members of the class of 2021. That's sports, and I'm Frank Arity with the Georgia News Network.
Hi, good morning. Early clouds becoming mostly sunny. Northwest breeze, highs low 80s. Partly cloudy mid 60s for tonight. Tomorrow, mostly sunny. A chance of afternoon showers and thunderstorms, upper 80s. Friday, mostly sunny. Chance of showers and thunderstorms, highs low 90s. Saturday, mostly sunny. Chance of showers and thunderstorms, highs in the mid 90s. Georgia meteorologist John Weatherby in the GNN Weather Center.
River level 8.8 feet falling, 8.8 falling river level. Next tide low 12:08, high this evening 6:26.8 feet. Sunset at 8:35. Right now 61.61 here at the Big Dog WIFO. That is your GNN Weather Center forecast on FM 105.5 at 8:28. Good morning from WIFO FM.
And then along came Walker Jones.
The recovery is on at Walker Jones Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. We're talking great financing options for June. How about the 2019 Ram 1500, Motor Trend's Truck of the Year? 0% for an amazing 72 months. You say the 2020s are more your style? Drive home a 2020 Dodge Durango or 2020 Jeep Cherokee and take advantage of 0.9 for 72 months. And of course, we'll take care of you like friends and good neighbors should. That's the Walker Jones way of doing business. We're home of the lifetime warranty at no extra cost to you. Good 24/7 coast to coast. Walker Jones Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Memorial Drive in Waycross and online at WalkerJonesChryslerJeepDodge.com. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details and 7120.
Get the best deal from Walker Jones.
In the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic, it is important not to put your health care on hold. Preventative testing, lab work, elective, diagnostic, and surgical procedures are available at Wayne Memorial Hospital and are vital to ensure your continued good health. At Wayne Memorial, we prioritize your health and safety. You can be confident that all appropriate safety measures remain in place to protect our patients. At Wayne Memorial, you will find clean, open areas in which social distancing is enforced. Surfaces are regularly sanitized by our skilled environmental services staff, and HEPA-certified air filters are located throughout the hospital, ensuring the cleanest air possible. Our staff has ample supply of protective personal equipment, and face masks and hand sanitizers are readily available to our patients. We look forward to the day when we are able to lift our no visitors policy. Regardless of the COVID-19 virus, our friends, family, and neighbors are still suffering from heart disease, cancer, neurological problems, and much more. Please don't delay your important health care needs any longer. Schedule your services at Wayne Memorial Hospital today, where your health means everything to us.
Good morning. You need headphones, don't you, Bob? WIFO FM Big Dog Country at 8:30. World famous Butch and Bob Show concert coming up at the Strand on Friday and Saturday with Colt Ford, and our guest is on the line. So go ahead and take it away, Bob.
Hey, we got Colt Ford on the line. Colt, how you doing today?
Good morning. How y'all?
Doing great, man. I'm reading your bio. You're born and raised in the greatest place in the world, Athens, Georgia. Can't beat that.
Hard to beat. Hard to beat. I'm here right now.
So I'm sure you're a big dog fan. Also, I'm curious, you were a professional golfer, played on the nationwide tour. What years were that, and how'd that go?
That's true. Most people think male model when they see me, so they don't really know about the golf thing. But
there you go.
I turned pro in 1992. Heck, before it was even the Nike, it was the Hogan Tour when I turned pro. So I did it for about 10 years, and and ended up. My first love's always been music, and just got lucky enough to have some success here.
Well, let's talk about your music again. I've been listening to your CD, Chicken and Biscuit. I think you came here years ago in Jessup, Georgia. That's where I met you and bought your CD, but I've been following your career, listening to your music. People are excited you're coming. Tell us how this came about. This is like the Georgia Grown concert series. You're part of that. So tell us how this came about, especially with the COVID-19 pandemic underway.
Well, it's been a tough time for everybody, obviously, and, everybody's unsure about what's going on, and, we need music, it has a way of transcending politics and religion and everything, but, we also want to be safe, and it was an opportunity to play, and it's just wore me out not being able to play, and the fans, that's why I make music, to be out there with the people and to see a smile on their face and forget about what's going on for a little while. So, it's an opportunity for me to go play. They said, we don't know how it's going to be, drive and see it. I was like, I don't care if I can go play music and some people want to come out there, I want to do it, and I get to do it in Georgia, so that's another great thing. I'm really one of the first national touring artists to get back out there, so I'm excited to be in Georgia, down there in Jessup, and have a couple of good days and have some fun with everybody.
We had owners of the drive-in in the studio yesterday, Ralph and Jamie Hickok. They said the excitement's building for this concert. A lot of ticket sales are already underway. People are asking, is there a act other than you? Is there somebody going to hit the stage first, or do you have any idea about that?
Honestly, I do not know that. That's a good question. I don't think there is. There's we're such limited with space and everything of trying to put it together. I think it's just going to be us, but we're going to have some fun for sure. It'll be a little different than most people have seen concerts, but you know what? I've loved the fans. That's what it's all about to me, and I just want to get back out there and play. So I just can't wait.
Your Colt fans are familiar with your music. For those listening, though, may not know what type of music you perform. Tell us a little bit about your music.
Honestly, I've never considered myself anything but a country artist. If you know the history of country music, recitation, talking records have been around before I was even born. Songs like Smoke, Smoke, Smoke That Cigarette and Hot Rod Lincoln. Charlie Daniels told me he felt like I was picking up where he left off, and he's been somebody that's been very good and a mentor to me. So if for somebody like that to say it, then that's all I'm going to try to do is get out there and keep making music that country folks can relate to. I'm a God, family, friends, America guy, and that's what I represent when I'm up there, and we play hard as we can for the people that are there.
I'm curious, do you have a favorite song that you perform?
Not really. I've written most of my stuff I've written, and I've been lucky to never have to cut anything that I didn't like. But they all mean different things for different reasons. Obviously, some of the bigger things are songs like Dirt Road Anthem that Brantley and I was on my first record we wrote together, and of course our buddy Jason Aldean recorded it and became the biggest song of his career and one of the biggest songs in the history of country music. So that one's always fun to play. And it's fun to realize it's really my song, and so that'll be fun to do. But I just love, every song means something different for different people, and that's a cool thing. I love hearing the stories about it, what it meant to them, or my song Working On, that all the money goes to my buddy Marcus Luttrell in his foundation. And so I just love playing music, man, and they all mean different things to different people, and same for me. They mean different things to me.
Well, we can definitely tell you're a country by just some of the titles of your songs. On the Chicken and Biscuit album, you got that song "We Like to Hunt," which is a good song. You've got the Trailer Park Pulp Fiction. That's kind of an unusual title.
That's a fun song. Ira Dean from the band Trick Pony wrote that song, and Ira's a good friend of mine, and that was a fun song. That was just a fun song to do. I hadn't played that in quite a while.
Yeah, but again, it's just a good CD listening to it. But again, we appreciate you tuning in. I know you're a busy person, but we just want to encourage everybody to come on out. Again, the showtime, I understand, is 8:15, both Friday and Saturday. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. I'm just, like you said, I appreciate you guys giving me some time, and I'm excited to see people in Georgia. I've been kind of stuck in Nashville for a while. I came home visiting my folks finally for a little bit, and I'm just ready to get on this road and play music and to do it in Georgia. There ain't nothing better than that to me.
Well, any Bulldog fans welcome inside Georgia and Jessup, Georgia. So I'm just curious. I know you're a big dog fan. You're looking forward to the upcoming season. You hope there'll be a season?
I am. I'm hoping everything clears up and we can get back to it. I was supposed to catch up with Kirby here before I head back to Nashville and see what's going on. I'm ready for some Dog Nation to get after it, no doubt.
Yeah, forward to Sanford Stadium being full and everybody getting ready for an exciting year. But Colt, again, we appreciate you calling in here on the world famous Butch and Bob Show. It's always good talking to you, and there's a lot of excitement building towards this concert. People are just ready to get out and have a good time, and showtime is both Friday and Saturday at the Jessup Drive-In. They changed the admission prices $10 per person now, so the ticket sales should pick up. People were kind of confused about the $125 for a vehicle. I was joking.
I think that was a little confusing for folks.
I said they're going to jam people in the trunk of a car. What are they going to do? So, but $10 per person sounds a lot better. So that should go a lot better this week. But they're expecting a big crowd. There's a lot of Colt Ford fans in Jessup and Wayne County and all around the area, in Appleton County, Pierce County. So people are coming far and wide to be on hand. So it should be a fun show. How long do you think you perform each night?
I normally we're probably an hour and a half or two each night, and I just, again, I'm excited. I hope people will come out. I know they're dying to get out there and hear some music and have some fun. And you know, a couple people, even my manager said, "Sure, you want to play shows yet?" And I'm like, "Man, I've been wanting to play. I didn't want to stop playing shows, but I understand what's going on. But we want people to be safe. But we got to get our lives and everything back rocking and rolling. And I'm ready to get out there. I ain't scared. I want to play some music for my fans in Georgia, and we're gonna have some fun."
Sounds great. Will you have a vendor there with T-shirts and CDs on sale as well?
We will. We'll have all that there. I think they've got a system where they're going to be able to show it to everybody, and then bring it to people's cars and everything. So we'll have it all there. We're gonna get after it Friday and Saturday in Jessup.
It sounds great. Well, we'll look forward to it. Again, appreciate you being here, and wish you well. Stay safe, and everybody's excited about this concert Friday and Saturday night at the Jessup Drive-In. Colt Ford in concert. Should be a great show.
We coming. We're going to have some fun. Thank you guys for having me.
Okay, Colt. Thanks so much. Look it up. Again, Colt Ford in Jessup Friday and Saturday at the Jessup Drive-In, Jonathan. Sounds like it's going to be a great show.
That's right. 2 shows, both Friday and Saturday night at 8:15. Tickets now just $10 per person. Coolers are allowed.
Right, advanced ticket sales are underway. Let me give you that website.
That's gagrown.com.
Right, Grown, GeorgiaGrownConcertSeries.com.
Yeah, gagrownconcertseries.com. Not spelled, it's right. GA, not Georgia.
Yeah, GA.
gagrownconcertseries.com.
Right, and again, tickets now $10 per person. So go ahead and get online, get your tickets, and get ready for a great show by Colt Ford. Athens, born and raised.
All right, and pro golfer.
Pro golfer. I love this. I like this. What do you say? They thought he was a male model.
Yeah, kind of like the
Colt fans know the joke, but if you don't
like
know
the Chippendale sketch with Farley, kind of.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Okay.
That's true.
All right, world famous Butch and Bob Show on WIFO this morning, brought to you by Damon's Famous Fingers and Wings, First Southern Bank, and of course Murphy Builder Supply. Good morning from the Big Dog WIFO at 8:39.
And then along came Walker Jones.
A new normal is taking shape, and at Walker Jones Toyota, now more than ever, we're proud to be your friends and good neighbors.